Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Miss JD for another episode of our daily stock market insights. Today is already 1:55 in the morning, April 7th, 2021, and this is going to be a pre-open stock market analysis for your favorite stocks in the Philippine market. So if this is a type of video you want to watch every day, I'm inviting you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. At the same time, if you also would like to have some music in the background while you're studying your charts, that will also help you focus. I'm inviting you to also subscribe to my second channel. So these are the songs I want to play in the background while I study my charts. So these are just instrumental music that's really more of a relaxing type of music. It will help you focus. Okay, so just in case you have time, I'd really appreciate if you can also follow my other channel. So that's your way of supporting Miss JD as well. Okay, thank you to those who have already subscribed, by the way. I only have 118 subscribers here, so I just recently um, uh, built this channel. Okay, so that's still in the works, but definitely I'll also provide a lot of materials there for all of us to appreciate. Okay, so let's get down to business. Let's try to discuss what happened to the market today. Okay, so as you can see, um, we had a lot of greens, and I'm so happy. A lot of greens. We're slowly recovering. As you can see, well, I already sorted our stocks. The trending ones, as you notice, are already green. The ones in my watch list, for those people who have been following me, I'm a big fan of really uh, choosing choosing the stocks with good fundamentals, with good um, story in the bigger picture. I mean, so these are the stocks that I'm still holding on to, and they're all showing some promising signs of recovery right there. And some of them I've already added and increased my volume, so really looking good at the moment. But for the trending stocks that we have right here, also looking good. But I'm going to discuss some of them from top to bottom, so we can also be prepared for today's market. In the meantime, I'd like to cover first what we have here for the index. As you can see, we ended green, right? But we stopped right at the MA20 line. So what does this mean? Well, I'm still on the bullish side, considering that when we dipped, okay, when we recovered, right, we hit the MA20. We got rejected there, and then we dipped for a bit. However, when we dipped, I was also anticipating that we are going to dip and then either do a double bottom right here at the 6,300 or continue our decline, which will create a lower low around the 6,200. Because if you go here, this used to be our support. And because in today's market performance, it did not do that, then I'm already treating this as a possible higher low. Okay, so we declined but only stopped at the 6,400 level. And then we continued with a green, but stopped again at the MA20 line. So we are already on the 50-50 side to our road to recovery. One point is we're already hitting the higher low, so that's a good sign. By tomorrow or later today, if we are to continue moving and we are to continue and cross the MA20 line, we're now higher than the MA20 line. That now becomes a breakout of the downtrend because our downtrend channel is looking like this, right? It's actually like that. We're still within that downtrend channel. So that's why I'm saying it's 50-50 because one point here is we've created a higher low, but then we did not end outside of this resistance in a downtrend channel. Therefore, we're not 100% safe yet. Anything can still happen. It could still go back and do sideways right at the 6.4 or 6.385 area. So the biggest move that will really nail our assumption that it is going to reverse and move up some more is when we continue to move outside of this resistance area at the 6,590 level. We go higher than that, then that's a much better picture. But looking at it, we'll see. Because we had a solid green today. So normally when we don't have any wick above, chan- chances are we could be moving some more to the upside. But we'll see. Don't quote me on that yet, because tomorrow is still going to be a decision making day for the index. Okay, next stock that I'd like to cover is Dito. I consider Dito already as a breakout of this triangle that we have been creating for several days now. I mentioned that we've been on a, you know, on a level where your buyers and sellers are just equally distributed. We don't know yet who's winning the game. So in today's market performance with this solid green that we have, I'd like to already conclude that we are now on the bullish side of the fence. Slight increase in our volume right here, so that could already mean that we're already gaining momentum, starting to build that buying sentiment for our Dito over here, and we also crossed the MA20 line. So I'm on the bullish side. I see a possible continuation to the upside for our uh, Dito. So for now, if I'm to plot our new support, it is going to be around the 1043 area, just right at the MA20 level. So that way, in case there will be fluctuation, so those people who are interested to add more volume right here, take advantage of. So we all know that we are bullish, right? But when are you going to enter? That's the time now that you are going to drill down further on a faster time frame, so that you could haggle for a few cents and enter anywhere between 1043 and 1108. So the thought process is start with a bigger picture, and the bigger picture could mean you looking at a weekly chart, then drilling down further to a daily chart, and then onto a much faster time frame. After you have concluded on the bigger picture, which is your weekly or daily, you know that okay, we're now bullish, and so when am I going to enter? Your faster time frame will help you determine that level. Okay? So, in terms of fundamentals, we know that we now are dealing with a business that has a tangible, uh, well, we're dealing with a tangible business. And like before, we're just speculating, and anything can still happen at that point. Anything could have happened. And it everything came into a reality where we now have a third telco that is operational. We've also seen a lot of videos in YouTube and even here in Instagrams that indeed they were able to um, stay true to what they have promised, right? That they are going to give us a faster internet speed. And so far, based on what I have seen, they were able to do that. So I think looking promising here. If they just continue to stay true to their promise to their consumers, then chances are we could really rally at a faster rate here. And before we know it, we're back at the 18 level. Okay, URC also, wow, looking good. So this stock had also declined significantly, but if you are to look at it on a long-term chart or the bigger picture, I'd say we have created a higher low. See that we've been rallying to the upside, and then we declined This is a noticeable decline, but the low here is higher than this previous low. And so we are also starting to trigger the upper Bollinger Band, and that's my favorite whenever I see that. Like this one, when we trigger an upper band or lower band, there is a continuation in the direction where it is triggering. For instance, this one, it triggered the lower band, chances are it will continue to decline. So now that we are also triggering the upper band, pair it with the volume. Volume is present, as you can see. The average here, the cloud is just right at this level, but we have exceeded that. So I think this push in the price is, uh, it's solid. It's not like not in some other stocks like secondary stocks. You see it climbing up, but the volume is really low, so it's not sustained. But this one, I consider this because it's above the average volume, so there's really a solid buying sentiment. Where are we going to put our nearest support? Well, that will be our nearest resistance before. So this is where I see a possible support. It's an area, guys, by the way, so it could be a little higher or a little lower, around 134, 135. That's the level I'm looking at for our support area. And where are we on the bigger picture? There is still a lot of room for this stock to move even higher. And when I say that, I'm already addressing our long-term holders or investors. So even if you're able to get it at this level and then slightly decline for a few pesos in the next few days, because you're a long-term holder, that shouldn't shake you, okay? Rather, the perspective should be I buy more when it dips because I'm in it for the long haul. I will be staying here for years. Okay, so and if you have that kind of mindset, then the payoff could be more meaningful because in the long term, at one point it has even reached the 223 level, and we're just 134, and that's almost 100 pesos away from where we are right now. Okay, we're not in the overbought yet. Look at this, we're just in the 62 level, so we're still okay in URC. ACEN also had a solid, wow, this is a nice move, second day, and we came from a constricted Bollinger Band, and we had a continuation of a green today. So I would say I see this stock moving higher and higher in the coming days. There could be some fluctuations, so I'd like you to take advantage of that. So, and for instance, this one, I see a possible support to be formed right at this level around 725. So we could be moving or touching this area and continue to move up. So if you want to put your order at, let's say, around 725, for some people they'd like to go 7 pesos, then it all depends. We just do not know if it will go back to the 7 peso level, or maybe you can break it. One at the 725, one at the 7 peso, or another amount at the opening. It's all up to you. But overall, especially for the midterm or mid to long term holders of ACEN, there's really a big potential for this stock to move even higher. Okay, so very promising level for ACEN. BSC, we also crossed the MA20 line. All right, and this is already a second day, so there is a confirmation that we are moving higher and higher each day, and I see a possible support at its previous resistance. This was your resistance, which was also confirmed right here. But today, because we crossed the resistance area, there's a high probability that your resistance will now act as a support. We could have a movement that looks like this, or maybe if we're going to move higher, it will create a higher low, and it will in some occasions it will not go back to its previous resistance anymore. uh, and if it does that, then we have to move higher again in our standards in terms of support. So the support could now be, if it goes higher than the 104 area, then of course, because that used to be a support, then we have to respect that. Support could again be higher. So that's how we look at it. So we always look back to the previous data and see where are the possible support and resistances uh, depending on the movement of the stock. So right now, because we are not hitting another resistance or support level, so I'm just pegging it at still at the 0.92 because it's still very near. So chances are we could have a long wick that would touch 0.92 and then it continues to move higher and higher. Overall, so this stock at one point reached the 2 peso level and it was just recent when we did that. So if the rest of the stocks are also bullish, then chances are this stock will also ride the overall sentiment of the market. Looking good, but that's not a really noticeable volume. It's only 978,000 K. So yeah, don't rush. I just have a looking at it, and because we're still very near, there's a big chance that your 0.92 will still be hit. All right, now APL is also showing us some signs of recovery. We have crossed the MA20 line. Volume is there, but not there yet. Slowly it is increasing, but we want it to continue to increase. Hopefully we cross the average and then it continues to move higher. Overall, we're still very near the area where I see as a support. Okay, so I still have some shares here for APL. I didn't take action. I I did not add as well because I think my volume here is still at the level where I'm still okay. Because sometimes if if the stock is too risky and the volume is also too high, uh, there's this feeling that I will not be able to sleep comfortably. So I like to maintain the volume at the level where I can still sleep comfortably at night. Because it's a double-edged sword, you know. When the stock goes higher and it increases in price, then uh, the increase is really noticeable. And then when it declines, it's also exponentially high. And then that's the part when I become more uncomfortable. But at least the volume I have right now is still on the safe side. That's the balance I'm wanting to strike. Okay, so 0.20 is our support. And I just feel like we could still be moving higher. And we're very near that. We're very near the point where we will be triggering the upper band. Overall, similar with the BSC, almost the same, right? Yeah, almost the same chart. And we could be moving in the same direction as well. BDO starting to create some stabilization in the area where we are at the moment. 101, 100 level, yeah, 101 area looks like it is strengthening the support that we have here at the moment. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see. Maybe another green with a good volume. Volume is already good, picking up. And either way, when the area where we are at, disregarding the small fluctuations that we have here, we're at a very cheap level. So try to consider that. So look at BDO for long term. JFC also continued to move higher, so that's a good one. We managed to cross the MA20 line with some foreign buying that happened. Volume, look at the volume. See the big difference? It's like double the volume of the previous 3 days. So I think this is supported by a solid buying sentiment. So I'm plotting our support at the 179, 180 area. If it is not going to push higher in the coming days, then I see that this stock could just remain higher than MA20 in the coming days. So either sideways here, but I don't see it dropping anymore. We're done with that phase. like the other stocks in the index, majority of it, and some other stocks that we have also reviewed. I think we're done with the bear market, hopefully. But we don't hope here. We only base our assumptions on the chart and on the indicators that we're following. So 180, guys, that's the support I'm looking at, and I see a possible continuation for our lovely JFC. Look at this. Look at that. It broke out of the downtrend channel. So the downtrend channel had been creating lower highs, and then we managed to cross that path. And we started the day with 181.40. We reached a high of 186 and then stopped at 185. So looking good. Next stock I'd like to cover is PHA. PHA as well managed to break out of the downtrend channel, and we're now above the MA20 line. So I'm plotting our support at, well, at the MA20. So that's a 216 area. Okay. Volume also starting to show some increase with foreign buying, but we haven't really crossed the cloud yet. So the cloud that you see in the volume area, that's the average, like the moving average of the volume. And what we want to see is that spike. We want to witness that, because when we see that happening, like what you have here on the 29th of December, actually you notice that 4 days straight, no significant change in the volume in the price. And December 29th, 2020 came, there's a slight increase, but the volume was significantly higher than the past 4 days. And then what happens next is a noticeable increase in the price. And as we go higher and higher, volume is sustained. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. As we go higher and higher, volume is also increasing, and it is also higher than the average volume. So that's what we're trying to achieve for PHA. But looking good. I like the chart actually. I see it. If you want to enter and try it out for PHA, 216 to 227 are the areas I want to enter. Okay. Now let's take a look at Pure Gold. Pure Gold is giving you a chance, guys, to either add more volume or enter at this point, because it looks like we have already finished the downtrend sentiment here, and this is a big discount for you guys. Last year around this time, this was the time when they started rallying, but at this point, well, it's also starting to do that, right? When we had our ECQ this year. Actually, this is already the second week of ECQ, and we're also starting to show that. But there was a retracement because there's an significant increase in the price, and we're just pulling back. And for those people who still want to ride that, I think the nearer you are to the MA20, the better. That is where you pick up and add volume or do some test buys. Because unlike here, if you enter right here, that means you're trapped, right? Especially if you're a trader, you entered at a higher level and then you go negative. So this one is a very good entry for look at it for midterm tenure, or no, midterm investing, all right? Or you can also do trade, provided you go as near as you can to this MA20 line. And where it is at right now is, I like that area. So try to observe. Probably what you can do here, you can wait for the entire day to do its thing, and then if you see the action happening higher than MA20 lines, so that's our trigger. Then you can probably enter end of day. At least you already have 90% of the picture, and you know where the next action is. Okay, and I think that's for Pure Gold. What do we have next? I think that's it. Yeah, those are our trending stocks for April 6th, and we're still reviewing this April 7th, and the market is still closed. At least we're we're ready before the market opens. All right, guys, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and click the like and click the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. And also just promoting my second channel, please support Miss JD by also following my second channel. You can just play this in the background while you do your research and your analysis for the day. This will really help you focus. All right. In the meantime, thank you and bye bye for now.